Hey there, it's Erica, and welcome to this mid-body burn where we focus on the muscles in our mid-body, the back, the glutes, the core. You'll want a mat, a range of weights. I'll be using anywhere from 5 to 24 pounds, as well as a resistance loop. A short warm-up and cool down are included, and your main modification is to get rid of the band and choose lighter weights where needed to lessen the resistance. Want to help us continue creating free workouts? Join the Fitness Blender channel membership on YouTube and get access to exclusive workout videos, plus 5, 10, and 30-day challenges, or become an FB Plus subscriber on fitnessblender.com for unlimited access to all of our exclusive workouts, training programs, and subscriber-only features at the best price. For our warm-up, we'll be completing 4 exercises, 40 seconds each, and we are going to start here down on the mat. You do not need your band or anything yet. You're going to come to a quadruped position on all fours, and we're going to start with a cat-cow. So you're going to start by dropping your belly to the floor, gazing up, and then pushing through those palms and pushing those shoulder blades up to the ceiling. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to equally stretch and equally feel the tension and the engagement going on in your core muscles. So it's a combination here, warming up our mid-body, our theme for today, and also contracting those muscles, squeezing those glutes at the same time. Okay, next we're going to do an alternating bird dog. So you're going to reach straight forward and straight back with the opposite arm and leg, nice and long. And when I mean reach long, that means we are taking any arching out of our low back. So we're not trying to necessarily reach up higher, but we're really trying to elongate. Notice the difference in what happens in your core when you do that. Again, continuing to feel those core muscles work and help you balance. Next up, we'll be coming into a glute bridge. So you're coming onto your back, pushing up through those heels, and then when you come to the top, I want you to try and lift one knee and then set that foot back down. Up into the glute bridge again, lift a knee and set it down. Having a narrower stance, as you're probably noticing, is going to help a little bit. Tighten that core as you come to the top, straight line from your hip bones all the way up to your shoulders. And last but not least, bring it up to a stand. We're going to do an RDL motion, so a hip hinge, and then a wide row. So to match our shorter workout today, we are doing a shorter warm-up and cool down. If you're feeling like after this you need a little bit more, you can always add that on. So sending those hips back, squeezing the glutes, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, and then coming up for the row. Elbows nice and wide, a little bit below that shoulder. A few more seconds here. Fantastic. Let's go ahead, head into the workout. For our workout, we have 11 exercises, 40 seconds active and 15 seconds of rest, about 10 minutes total. You're going to want that band on just above your knees. I prefer a fabric band. It just stays in place a little better for me. And then you're going to place that weight over your hips and come into a glute bridge. So just like we finished off doing in the warm-up, you're going to bring those hips high. When you come to the top, you need to flare those knees out. And then as soon as that pelvis touches the floor, you're right back up to it. So you're squeezing the glutes. You're almost feeling like you're scooping the hips a little bit at the top. Notice when you do that, your core engages a little bit more. And then we're pausing at the top to get that extra burn in the outside of the glutes. Okay, next up, you can put that weight aside. We're going to come back to a quadruped position on all fours. We're going to do some bent knee kickback. So you're going to keep that band on if you would like. And you're going to lift straight up and then right back down. So we're going to focus on one side for this 40 seconds. You're staying nice and square from your wrists to your shoulders to your hips to your knees. So we're staying in a box position. And to make this a little bit more challenging, you can pulse at the top, stay up in this upper range of motion, or you can come all the way down and all the way back up. Of course, at any time to make these exercises feel easier, you can remove that band. You can lighten the load on the weights. Really make sure to pause at the top, a few more seconds. Alrighty, now we're into that other leg. So remember that alignment, we're not arching, we're not doing our cow, we're doing somewhere between the cat and the cow. Straight back. Everything is controlled. You're going to notice in a lot of our exercises today, they're resembling Pilates, right? A big principle in Pilates is focusing on that mid-body, focusing on our full core canister up into our back, our glutes. It's responsible for every single movement we do in life, whether it's a workout or daily activities. This region is really good at setting the framework for our alignment and our posture. We're going to get ready to take that band off. So you can just step right out of that band. And we're going to grab one weight in hand for an offset RDL. So you're going to hold that weight in one hand. All the exact same form cues are the same as what would be if you had two weights in hand. The only thing is we don't have a weight in one of our hands, so we have to make sure that our shoulders are staying balanced. Our core is helping us do that. Move slow and controlled. But like I said, all the same form cues. Keeping that weight close to those legs. You're poking that booty back. Weight is in the heels. We have our chest open. And we get to do that on the other side. So anytime we're doing unilateral work where we're offsetting with our weight in one hand or one leg, our core is balancing that out. It's keeping us center. That's some of the best core work we can do. Doesn't always feel like we're using our core like we would in a traditional crunch, but we are laying that foundation. Those deeper muscles around the spine are working extra hard. Very important for those of us who have goals with functional movement and just feeling better in our day-to-day activities. Okay, we're going to be back down on the floor next. I'm going to grab a light weight, my lightest weight yet. Totally optional, of course, but we're going to do some side plank dips. I want you to stack those knees and shins on one another. You can put your weight just below the hips, and you're going to send those hips up and down to the floor. So you want to make sure that that elbow is just below the shoulders. You don't want to have too much space between the knee and the elbow. You don't want to have too little of space, so experiment here with what distance feels good for you. And then this added weight is just taking a ride on our hips, making it a little bit harder for us. But I encourage you to slow down in a lot of these movements. Instead of trying to get as high of a rep count as you can in these 40 seconds, I want you to see how intense that muscle engagement can get. Okay, on to the other side, so switch it over. Stacking the knees, stacking the feet and the shins. We have that elbow in line with the hips. Weight on the outer thigh, and you're pushing up and lowering down. Notice your alignment in this movement as well, taking any arching out of your back, really feeling that lower core engaging all the way up into that oblique. After this, we only have 4 exercises left. This 10-minute section of our workout is flying by. Okay, I'm going to double up my weight for our next one. I'm going to grab one 10-pound dumbbell. And we have bird dog, so we're going to hold this static position, so opposite arm, opposite leg, and we're going to do some row pulses. So before you do anything, make sure you are in a good position with that leg behind you, pointed all the way through your toe. And then you can pulse here, or you can do more of a full range of motion where you're touching that weight to the floor and back up. I'll let you choose, but we want to keep that flat back. We don't want to be opening up through the shoulder or feeling wobbly. If that's the case, I want you to set the toes on the floor. I want you to get rid of the weight or grab something lighter. Really feel that lat lifting the weight up. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. These are some fantastic exercises. So if you're craving a second round of this and you have time to do it, I would say go for it. Okay, extend that leg straight back, nice and strong through the core. And then we can add in the lift. Focusing on precision, focusing on staying really steady, pointing through that toe, not getting sloppy with that back leg. Also make sure that this shoulder here that does not have support isn't dipping down. Again, really staying flat like a board. A few more seconds. We're going to come on to our back again. We have some dead bugs, but we're going to add a little bit more of resistance to it. So I want you to take one hand, bring it to the opposite knee. Okay, both legs are bent. And you're going to straighten the leg that does not have the resistance. Now, this hand isn't just hanging out here for fun. I'm trying to work against this knee. So this knee is pushing towards my head, and my palm is there to create that wall. Notice all of the extra tension and coordination going on in your core, keeping that back glued into the floor. If it's popping off, don't straighten your leg as much. Don't let it go as low towards the floor. Okay, let's switch it out. So switch that hand to the opposite knee. Let's work through the break here on this one so we can really get a good amount of time on each side. We only have one more exercise coming up next. Let's come on up to our knees. I want you to hinge forward, hands behind your head. Give me some twists here. No rest here at the end of the workout. So I'm staying nice and open through those elbows. I'm not caving in. And I'm trying to almost look at the elbow, realizing that's not quite possible if we're doing it correctly. I got my glutes off of my heels. My core is nice and zipped up. Rotating right around that spine. We're almost there. And there you have it. That's the bulk of our workout. We're going to take a short water break, and we'll come back for our banded glute finisher. Banded glute finisher, 4 exercises, 45 seconds each. Band comes above the knee again, and we're going to start with some side steps. So you can take 2 steps to one side, 2 steps to the other, or you can choose to go back and forth. whatever amount of space you have. Notice I'm staying kind of low for some added tension here. So I'm also basically coming into a slight squat. Take nice wide steps. Of course, depending upon the resistance in your band, your steps might not look as wide as mine. They might look wider. All depends. We're going to stay standing for our next exercise as well. We're going to go straight into it. So there is no rest on this one. Finishing it out, burning it out. Okay, some kickbacks. You can come up to a stand, kick back. Much like we've already been talking about, keep that alignment, especially through that lower back. You're going to be tempted to kind of arch. Don't lose that commitment to your core. Lift from the base of the glute. Either flex or point your toe behind you. I'm choosing flex. It just works best after I have that foot set on the floor, keeping it in that same position. Basically, we want to engage the muscles through our full leg. It is burning. Keep it going. 10 more seconds on this one. Woo! Squat pulses. So we are sending those hips back into a squat, giving it a pulse at the bottom, and coming to a stand. Making sure that your band isn't too tight. We don't want those knees caving in. If that's the case, toss the band to the side. You can finish it out without a band, or else really be adamant about keeping those knees wide. Can you sink a little bit lower? Can you stay in that pulse just a little bit longer? You're doing great. We only have one more exercise coming up after this. Then we're already met with our cool down. Come on down to your back. We're going to do a glute bridge hold. So as soon as you get there, lock up to the top. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I want you to use your own resistance on this one. Really get those hips up. Really squeeze those glutes. Make sure that core is engaged as well. This is it. And then we have our cool down. You're almost there. Keep that tension outward on the band. You got it. Keep those hips up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And slowly lower it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and roll right into our cool down. 4 exercises and 40 seconds each for our cool down. We are going to start in a seated forward fold. So up to you if you want to flex or point those toes. It will be a little harder if you're flexing, of course. You're shortening. I shouldn't say shortening. You're actually getting a head start on the stretch in the hamstrings by doing that. So up to you. You can try on both. See how they feel. If you prefer this exercise standing, you can also come up to your feet as well. Our next few exercises are on the floor, so I just kind of started us on the floor here, but you can get a little bit extra resistance by having gravity pull you down. Okay, coming into a pigeon pose, getting into those glutes. I'm sure they are looking for a stretch. Come into that downward dog, bring that leg up, thread it on through, sit up nice and tall. On this one, you are equally distributing your weight between both hips. So you're not sitting deep into this leg, and you're also not way over to this side as well. Okay, so sit up tall. Sometimes it can help to put a yoga block or a pillow under your hips if this position is tough at all. You can lean forward for an extra stretch. Okay, and into the other side. So I'm going to come back up, bring the right leg up. That's the side I haven't done yet. Bringing it on through. Trying to get comfortable here. Equally feeling a stretch in your hip flexor as well as that glute in the front. Make sure your knee is touching the floor, the top of your foot. We don't want to turn out at all. That would probably indicate that you're sitting a little bit too far into that glute, which will actually decrease the stretch on this one. And our last cool down movement, we're going to come into a child's pose, so you can reach far forward, sink into those hips, feel that stretch in your inner thighs, in your core, up into the shoulders. And then you can come into a cobra for a little bit deeper of a mid-body stretch. Just kind of trade off here. Make these last few seconds relaxing. Take a few deep breaths. Flow at your own pace. And that is it. Very proud of you for joining me for this workout today. My name is Erica. This is A Workout Complete.